Welcome to Escape From Gorebox. I'm Show No Mercy 453, the voice actor behind the character Michael Lincoln. In this video, we will go over the story of Escape From Gorebox. Before we continue, EFG was previously known as the Della Group Conflict. However, due to the popularity of the Gorebox name, it was decided to change it.
It all happened so fast. In 2024, a Russian company called VenDuskT made their own private military called VenDuskT, or you could call them Vendos as a slang. They were typically made to do the classic PMC work. In 2025, someone made another private military company called DAMOX. The X stands for batch, which means it's the largest private military in the world. They're trying their best to save humanity by focusing on internal missions. It's the only way PMC that refuses to do missions with criminal activity. 2026 is the birth of Boxville. The actual name of Boxville is Ventaville, which is the location of VenDuskT City. This city was the final hope of Russia, where all brands will return without betrayal. In 2027 is the popularity of Della Group. They made a speech about how their gas substance was able to heal or fertilize trees more. They said it's the easiest way to grow plants in order to stop ruining Earth, but that will change all in the next year. In 2028, a group of people broke inside one of the Della Group's HQ. They discovered a room called the Chamber Rooms. When they opened it, they saw a corpse inside these metal cubes. They also noticed tubes sticking into them. Della Group kidnapped innocent people, no matter the age or its problems. They killed them here and sucked up their fluids. When the group found out, they ditched the stealing plan and decided to tell the public. However, the CDG spotted them and gunned them down while the others barely escaped. Oh, by the way, my name's Master Legend, aka Hero, the voice actor of an upcoming character in the series. Take note of that.
The thieves were equipped with smartphones, which they used to upload the secrets to social media. They also sent the videos of their friends being gunned down by the guards to trusted whistleblowers on the internet. A few days ago, the public began hearing about the information exposing Della Group and their secret projects. A lot of controversy has been going on since then. However, Della Group didn't like that their projects were exposed to the public. In retaliation, they used missiles filled to the brim with toxic gas that they made during their previous projects. The missiles were launched at every country on the globe.
Before Della Group launched their gas missiles into the whole world, the first thing they did was to blow up their own headquarters as an accident. This made people in VenDuskT City evacuate the whole city when the gas started killing people. 911 calls have been flowing through police departments in order to evacuate any innocents out of the city. Unfortunately for the innocents, the company's plan worked. Three hours go by when all countries have been bombed. The UNHRC, United States Natural Human Rights Council, made a evacuation shelter which is located at a large, desolated island which people can live in. Those who are on bunkers are required to stay on connection in case of emergencies or to contact families and loved ones. They also had more than 10,000 military emergency vehicles to rescue as many civilians as they can, so they can be transported to the evacuation shelter, codenamed the UNES. All governments have all worked together to discuss meetings about the conflict before the company starts World War III. They are also given support by social media and hackers to discuss more on plans to see what they could do. Despite the shelter having its pros, everything's never perfect. Despite having a lot of food, armies and military are required to go to radioactive or gas-spreaded countries to find more resources and supplies just in case of low stock so it could feed 8 billion people. But since a lot of armies are not enough, they also have to send civilians to countries in order to balance the supplies and resources equally. Those who are at the age of 17 to 40 are required to go outside of the UNES to get resources. They are expected to be back in 3 days, but the tuner would be delayed depending on how long the travel is. Those who don't come back are tasked for the military to make it a rescue mission to find them and get them out. If they fail twice, the civilians are considered dead unless they come back as a surprise.
Unfortunately, most armies of the world were busy evacuating civilians to the UNES. They decided to ask support from the DMOC's private military. Fortunately, they fully agreed to help out. The United Nations made a fundraiser for the public to support DMOCs and help out on the mission. DMOCs used the money to not only pay their soldiers, but to also buy more firepower to use on this mission. They also hired more soldiers in the UNES so they could counterattack the company. This war may or may not be the last that puts humanity at the risk of extinction.
Before the Mox's infiltration, Reskov municipality had other plans for the conflict. Their first thought was to evacuate any innocent civilians, including the employees from Delo Group. However, they weren't able to succeed since the first batch of Demox were already deployed to Boxville. Before they knew it, the first batch was already attacked by the CDG, guarding the headquarters to protect the missiles. The gunfight took minutes to finish before the first batch went deeper. The batch was able to find the employees, and they demand to tell where the missiles are so they could hack them and be sent down to a wasteland. When a few of them told where it was, CDG soldiers started firing at the batch, and the batch without a doubt killed them along with the employees in the process. They have committed a war crime that's undouble, but it was the first step on their mission.
While VenDuskT decided to walk around and explore the place, they came across a group of survivors. However, they're not innocent. As soon as they spotted the Vandos, they opened fire, injuring the PMCs, while the PMCs also fired back. The Vandos have to retreat from this attack, since they didn't know there were bandits in Boxville. DMOX had the same situation, but in order to study them more, they observed them to see what they do. They noticed how they talk broken Russian. They also seem to give more attention to stuff they found. Seeing how they keep things as always, they are very aggressive to everything. They were nicknamed Scabs, which also means scavengers. However, somewhere in Ventiville, there are other Scabs who are friendly to people. However, both factions consider them as a threat.
While DMOX continued the mission that they were given, they got a call from their commanders saying that they couldn't contact them again. Apparently, the entire country of Russia was out of control during the attacks from Delo Group. Most of Russia was basically a war zone, the same as Boxville. They had no choice but to leave their own soldiers behind. However, it was not the end of the contractors. There were military checkpoints everywhere in Boxville. Some were abandoned, but some were still functional and used. The only way the contractors could get out was to escape from Boxville. The same applied to VenDuskT. Reskov municipality didn't care that their soldiers were dying. They kept on sending more and more without a care in the world. When VenDuskT found out about the cause, they tried their best to get innocent lives out of Russia.